What's up, guys? My name is Christian.
Carlos.
I'm Josh. And this is CRT Boxing.
Today we're going to talk about a little bit of what happened this past weekend, Margarito, Pacquiao. Also, we're going to talk a lot about Sergio Martinez and Paul Williams too. This past weekend, like I said on my prior video, I had no faith in Margarito winning this fight at all. Like I said, he was going to either be a late stoppage, which almost was, and he won by a large amount of points. Turned out to be like a circus. Like Margarito, it was just a magic show from Pacquiao. Like, it's just how good he looked against Margarito, and how you need to be way better than, you can't just be a stationary target like that, because your eye might come off.
Yeah, same thing. In the build up to the fight, like when the fight was first announced and everything, I thought it was gonna be a complete blowout for Pacquiao. But in the few weeks before the fight, with the whole 24/7 going on, everyone's talking about how training camp was going bad for Pacquiao, and actually seeing Pacquiao the way he looked before the fight, and seeing Margarito the way he looked, I was actually having doubts about how easy the fight was going to be for Pacquiao. I mean, Pacquiao looked smaller in his last two fights. He's looked smaller than he did before, and Margarito just looked crazy ripped. He looked, ready for the challenge. But come fight night, it turned into a bunch of drama with hand wraps and diet. What was that? Trim spa?
Hydroxycut.
Margarito was on trim spa, so. But the fight turned out to be what we predicted. It is pretty much just a blowout for Pacquiao. Yeah. Margarito hardly won a round, even though he did land some big punches. Which that's a tone that carried out through the whole fight. Is Margarito? He was getting whooped, but you could see that his shots were landing hard on Pacquiao.
Yeah, it's like he said. Like if you watch our last video, we all predicted it to be a blowout for Pacquiao. But then something like the weigh-in, Pacquiao weighed in at 144, then Margarito weighed in at 150, and then Margarito looking crazy ripped, very good. Pacquiao looking pretty. He just didn't look like he usually looks.
He was 165 on fight.
Yeah, and then fighting at 165, and then Pacquiao being 148, I think it was. Mm-hmm. So when that was happening, I was like, oh man, this might be a little different than what we think. And then when the fight started going, just like we thought it would, Pacquiao was extremely fast and just way too fast for Margarito, landing the good shots. And then, but Margarito actually kept it pretty interesting. He landed a good body shot somewhere. Somewhere around there. He landed a good body shot that actually looked like hurt Pacquiao. And there's a couple times there that you're like, oh man, he might actually be hurting Pacquiao. But then again, most of the times, it even looked like Pacquiao was letting him land those shots just to make it a little interesting. So it's like we said, it was a blowout. And so that was that. It ended up being a pretty good fight. That was okay. And then, but this weekend now we have on Saturday one we've been waiting for a long time. It's Williams vs. Martinez. The first one, a very close fight. We actually at least I don't remember how Carlos had that fight. But even though it was a very close fight, a lot of people say that Martinez had it. I remember Josh and I at least had Williams winning on that fight still. But extremely close. And the second one, I think it's going to be a great fight. It was pretty close to being fight of the year last year. Mm-hmm. And this one should be pretty good as well.
Yeah, it ended up... although I went round by round, I already watched it 3 times. And every round I try to watch it let's say on a different network, because different networks have cameras different, some other in other spots. So I can say I watched it from a different angle 3 times. I still had it exactly the same. I think it was 2 points or 1 point for Martinez. Also. I just couldn't take it also from I had some rounds that I had him from 10-10 and all that, but anyway, it was a really good fight. And I think from what I heard of a video camp from Martinez's side, he said that his weight a week and a half ago was 175 pounds. He's not too. He said he wasn't too worried about that. So me, I'm a little worried about that because that was a week and a half ago, and we're we're 4 days away from the fight. I don't know. I mean, a boxer's schedule to drain himself and go down that way, it might be too rough on him. It might hurt him. But I actually believe that he said he was gonna knock him out on this fight, 6 rounds or less. And I truly believe in that. Coming from Williams' side now, if he keeps throwing 100 plus punches per round, he might have another tight decision.
This fight it's another good fight. I think it's going to be a lot of the same from the last fight, so just action-packed. Williams throwing crazy punches, Martinez ducking, dodging, throwing great, counter shots. But to me, I think it's more of it's based on styles. It's going to be more towards Williams in this fight, just because since he's more of a technical fighter, I think he's going to learn more from the last fight than Williams will, since Williams hasn't changed, fight styles ever, and he just comes in and throws as many punches as he can, great stamina, good power, and he just rocks through people. Whereas Martinez has a little more thinking involved, does more defense, more dodging, but it's going to be a hard fight to call either way. We'll do a prediction in a little bit, but it's going to be a close fight. But style-wise, I think Martinez has the edge, just because based on his technical way of fighting things.
Yeah, I don't think if we actually judge a fight like a comeback, not a comeback fight, but a rematch for Williams, the only match we actually have is the one where he knocked out Quintana in the first round after Quintana beat him got a unanimous decision from the first fight. So we really don't know how he actually adjusts to a second fight. But I think it's going to be a lot like the first fight. I don't think, Williams, his main thing is his reach and pretty much his stamina, and then his punch output. And then Martinez, the same thing. Martinez is just his stamina and then just his footwork and speed, of course. So I don't think saying that. The reason I'm saying that is because I don't think neither of them are going to change each other's style for this fight. I think it's going to be straight up deja vu of the first fight. It's they're just going to go at it again and then see who lands the best shots. So that's the main reason why it makes it such a good fight. And you got some predictions there, Carlos?
It's hard to make a prediction on this one because trying to base on the first fight, but look at Martinez, how he looked against Pavlik, and that to me also, that was a drained Pavlik, or a not so I want to fight anymore Pavlik,
Well, Pavlik hasn't been looking good in forever.
Yeah, also that's what I'm. But based on his technique, his movement, his power and everything, I can see Martinez winning this fight by a KO, knockout actually. I would say between 5 and 7.
I don't see a knockout in this fight. I know the last fight they put each other down in the first round, but after that they hit big shots on each other, but neither of them put each other down. I think both guys have a strong will. Both have a good chin, I think. If weight is not an issue with either of them, which I don't think it will be for Williams because he's talked about going back down to welterweight. So if he can get down to welterweight, then he can easily fight this fight. Martinez, I don't think it will also be an issue just because he's naturally this weight. He went a little bigger for Pavlik, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem here. Just off Martinez's fighting style with his technicality, or how he's a technical boxer, I think he's gonna be able to learn more, and he's gonna outbox Williams a little better. But no doubt in my mind, it's gonna be fight of the year. Pacquiao Margarito was a good fight. It was an entertaining fight, but it wasn't a competition.
Yeah.
And the rest of this year has been pretty lackluster. So this fight is my vote already. Prior to the fight, it's going to be my vote for fight of the year, and I don't think it's going to disappoint. But I got Williams winning a tight UD, but I don't see a knockout happening.
This fight, I see this is how I think it's going to be. I think it's, how do I put it? I actually see I don't see a knockout. I see a TKO. The reason I see a TKO is because I see Williams not coming out of the corner for some random reason. I don't know. I just see it like that. It seems to me like it's going to be a lot like Pavlik Martinez, where Williams starts very well, starts pretty good, is landing some good shots, but Martinez is already coming into this fight, like he's saying, he's a little more technical, so he's already coming into this fight knowing what he needs to do, and mainly what he needs to do is stay away from Williams' shots and outbox him. Stay away, land the shots, in and out, in and out, in and out. And like we have been saying, Williams, he just doesn't, he's not the type of guy that will change his style for anything. So Williams is going to just keep on doing his thing of going in there, throwing 100 shots per round, and trying to do his thing. It's nothing wrong with that. But so the way I see it is Williams starts good as soon as Martinez adjusts to the fight, which I think he might even go to the fight first round already, fighting a great fight. But I see like the first 3 rounds Williams doing pretty good. Then after that Martinez just adjusts and then starts just dominating after that. And I see somewhere in there a towel thrown in, just because if Martinez can keep on going in and out, and just landing those shots on Williams, there's no point in continuing the fight. There's not going to be a point, because then if he's smart enough, he's not going to get hit much by Williams, and then Martinez would just continue to punish him. So I see a TKO. I see somewhere in the late rounds. I want to say like 11th round, pretty late there, 10th, 11th of just Williams not coming out of the corner, and that is it.
The TKO is especially possible with a cut for Williams, which it's never.
He cuts a lot, but he doesn't bleed.
He cuts a lot. The guy, he bleeds water. It goes down, then he just put a little towel on, it's gone. But if he can get a bad cut, I can see a TKO happening.